You don't need to be in a war zone to feel like you're under attack. Sometimes, it's just your everyday life, your thoughts, your to-do list, your doubts that wear you down. You say you want clarity, discipline, peace, but you delay, distract, and drown in the noise. You're not broken. You're just untrained, and today, Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who ruled the world by first ruling himself, might just be the mentor your mind has been waiting for. He didn't have it easy. He faced war, plague, betrayal, the unraveling of an empire. But he stayed steady. Why? Because he followed a set of timeless mental tools designed not to make life easier, but to make the mind stronger. This isn't inspiration. It's inner discipline. A battle plan for anyone who's tired of feeling at the mercy of their emotions. Life today moves fast. Too fast. It's noisy, relentless, and leaves your mind scattered and tired. You try to catch up, but the more you push, the further behind you feel. Most people believe the answer is to push harder, more hustle, more discipline, more motivation. But what if the answer isn't more but less? Less emotional chaos, less reacting, less noise. What if peace isn't something you earn? It's something you practice. In this video, you'll learn 3 Stoic tools Marcus Aurelius used to stay grounded through war, loss, and betrayal, plus 1 quiet morning ritual that kept his mind clear while the world crumbled around him. These aren't abstract ideas. They're real mental techniques from a man who ruled the empire without letting the empire rule him. They worked then. They work now. Let's begin. What is Stoicism? Stoicism promotes emotional control and resilience by focusing on what can be influenced. It offers a method to thoughtfully respond to challenges rather than reacting impulsively, providing a clear perspective for dealing with life's difficulties. This ancient philosophy aids anyone seeking to find inner peace amidst chaos. The future. Stop suffering what hasn't happened yet. In 165 Anno Domini, a deadly plague swept across the Roman Empire. Known as the Antonine Plague, it decimated cities, emptied villages, and turned the capital into a place of mourning. Death was everywhere, and no one, not even the emperor, could escape its reach. Marcus Aurelius stood in the center of this chaos not just as a ruler, but as a human being, a father, a husband, a friend. He had every reason to despair, to retreat into fear, to grasp for control. But he didn't. Instead, he walked the marble halls of his palace and personally marked valuables to be sold off. Not out of panic, but out of purpose. The empire's riches were to be repurposed to help the suffering. He didn't wait for certainty. He didn't demand clarity. He acted with principle, not prediction. That's what made him a leader. Not that he knew what would happen, but that he prepared to meet the unknown with inner steadiness. The future isn't real, not yet, but your anxiety makes it feel real. It tricks you into believing that by mentally suffering now, you'll somehow avoid suffering later. That if you play out every worst-case scenario, you'll be ready when the time comes. But here's what Marcus understood. You can't fight fog with fear. You can only prepare yourself to meet whatever emerges, with strength, composure, and clarity of character. He didn't try to bend the future to his will. He focused on becoming the kind of man who could face anything the future brought. That's the shift, from control to readiness. From fear of the unknown to faith in your ability to respond. Next time your thoughts spiral into future-based fear, do this. Stop and breathe. Get out of the whirlwind in your head and into your body. Ask, what do I know for certain right now? Not guesses, not predictions, facts, simple truths of this moment. Then ask, what is one real, useful thing I can do with what I have? Maybe it's washing a dish. Maybe it's sending a kind message. Maybe it's stepping outside and feeling the air. It doesn't have to be impressive. It just has to be real. Because while the future is fog, dense, unreachable, and often misleading, the present is solid ground. It's soil. And every grounded action you take today plants a seed that shapes your tomorrow. So stop trying to suffer your way to safety. Instead, step forward with reason as your weapon and let your presence become your preparation. The past, stop trying to edit what can't be rewritten. Marcus Aurelius buried 8 of his children. Not 1, not 2, 8. Each death could have shattered him. As emperor, he could command armies, change laws, reshape economies, but he couldn't stop death from visiting his home again and again. Loss stripped him of the illusion that power equals control. He could have surrendered to bitterness, become cold or indifferent, but instead, he turned inward. He reflected, he wrote, and in his journals, he didn't curse fate. He didn't ask, "Why me?" Instead, he wrote words that would echo for centuries. It's fortunate that I remained unharmed. Not because he felt nothing, but because grief didn't break his integrity. Pain didn't rewrite his values. Tragedy didn't turn him into a victim. He was still himself, still choosing to live with reason, humility, and virtue. That's what Stoicism is. Not the absence of sorrow, but the refusal to let sorrow define you. The past is sharp. It whispers in riddles. Could've, should've, what if? But here's the truth. No matter how many times you revisit the memory, you can't rewrite it. The page has already been written in ink. What you can change is how you carry it. You can drag it behind you like a chain or lift it like a torch. You can let it bury you or let it shape you. Because the past does not define you, your relationship with the past does. And that's something you control. The next time a memory comes back like a wound being reopened, pause. Don't retreat. Don't spiral. Don't rehearse the pain like a script. Instead, ask yourself, what did I survive that made me stronger, wiser, more awake? Maybe that betrayal taught you self-respect. Maybe that heartbreak taught you boundaries. Maybe that failure taught you humility or grit. This isn't about glorifying pain or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about honoring who you became because of it. The present. Master the moment you're actually in. Marcus Aurelius was not a man with a quiet life. As emperor of Rome, he bore the weight of an entire empire. Plagues spread through his cities. Barbarians threatened his borders. Friends betrayed him. Every sunrise brought decisions that could shift the fate of millions. Yet, amidst this pressure, Marcus didn't begin his days with decrees or battle plans. He began them with reflection. He journaled, reminding himself of mortality, purpose, and principle. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. To Marcus, this wasn't a morbid thought. It was clarifying. It brought him into the now, into the only space he could influence. This decision, this breath, this action, he understood something most people never do. That true command doesn't come from power over others, but from discipline within. The present moment is your point of power. It's not just poetic, it's practical. The only place where you can speak, act, and choose is here. Yet most suffering comes not from what the moment brings, but from our inner protest against it. We resist what is. We wish the pain wasn't here. We crave different people, easier circumstances, more favorable timing. But resistance doesn't remove discomfort. It magnifies it. Stoicism doesn't demand we like everything. It invites us to stop fighting reality. Because peace isn't found in control, it's found in alignment. When we stop demanding the world be different and instead respond wisely to how it actually is, we unlock the freedom Marcus wrote about. That strength doesn't come from forcing life. It comes from flowing with it while holding on to reason and virtue. When the moment feels heavy, pause. Don't escape. Don't scroll. Don't suppress. Just pause and ask yourself, what is one wise action I can take right now? That's it. Not 10 things. Not the perfect answer. Just one step forward from clarity, not chaos. Maybe it's taking a deep breath. Maybe it's choosing patience. Maybe it's doing the uncomfortable task instead of avoiding it. And then do that, not perfectly, but with intention. Because the present won't always feel pleasant, but it's always powerful. Your peace, your discipline, your clarity, they don't exist in the past or future. They live here, in this breath, in this choice. And the more often you return to that, the more unshakable you become. Surprise insight, Marcus's quiet morning anchor. One stormy morning, as rain lashed against the windows of the Imperial Library, Marcus sat quietly, pen in hand, journal open. But this wasn't a strategy session or a list of commands. That day, he wrote not about battles or politics, but about his own anger. He'd been betrayed the day before by someone close, a senator who twisted words in court, and the fury still burned in his chest. But instead of reacting, Marcus chose reflection. He asked himself, what is within my control? How can I lead myself before I lead others? And he poured it onto the page, his frustration, his desire to act rashly, his awareness of it all. It wasn't elegant. It was honest. That journal became his mirror, not to judge himself, but to center himself. And that's what Stoicism's at its core, a practice of returning again and again to what is real, what is right, and what is yours to master. We think productivity starts with planning, but it starts with presence. Marcus didn't need a morning routine app. He needed alignment. He trained his mind before life could pull it in every direction. Science now confirms it. The first thoughts you feed your brain each morning shape your identity, your resilience, and your decisions throughout the day. Try this. Before the scroll, before the news, before the noise, pause. Write this down or say it aloud. Today, I will meet what comes with strength and grace. Let that sentence set the tone. Then let every choice be a vote for the kind of person you want to be. Because identity isn't built all at once. It's built moment by moment. Marcus Aurelius lived through plague, betrayal, war, and personal loss. And still, he didn't crumble. He didn't control the empire by controlling others. He ruled by mastering the only thing he truly owned, his mind. You can too. Let go of what hasn't happened. Reframe what already has. And show up fully to what is. You don't need a throne to lead. You just need the courage to start ruling yourself. So the question isn't, can you live like Marcus? The question is, will you begin? If something in this message stirred something in you, leave a comment. And what are you going to do differently because of it? Subscribe for more tools, more stories, more strength. Stay steady, stay sovereign, stay free.